can trust I don't want to be here right now. When did I grow up? Was it when I went to college? Was it when I graduated college? Was it when I hit puberty? My journey began in 2003 when I was 23 years old and moved from Atlanta to Dallas to sell construction tools. Now talk about stepping outside of your comfort zone. I proposed to my now wife and moved halfway across the country in a span of a couple weeks. I spent the next 1.5 years selling construction tools out of the back of a big red truck. And although I liked the sales process, I knew at the end of the day that I didn't like construction. So like a lot of people do in that situation, I went to my family and friends and asked them if they knew any companies that were hiring. Luckily, I talked to my sister, and she said back in Texas her company was hiring. Next thing I know, I was on a phone interview with the director from that office, and here's what she said. I really like you, but I can't hire you off the phone. So I felt like this was the right direction. Something in me told me this was the right way to go. So I bought a plane ticket, flew to Fort Worth, interviewed in person, and here's what she said. I really like you, but I can't afford to move you from Atlanta to Dallas. I don't know what it was at that moment, and I'd never done IT staffing, but I knew that this was the right move for me. So the next thing I did was took the rest of my small savings, rented a pod moving system, and in the process of that, even sold books and movies so we'd have gas money on the way back. I didn't know anything about this, but away we went. I started recruiting for Tech Systems in December of 2004. It's a privately owned, North American-based IT staffing and services company. It took me 3 months to get my first placement, but after that, the floodgates opened. 4 months after that, I achieved sales contest figures, and 4 months after that, I had doubled that amount. I did so well, in fact, that I got noticed by my regional vice president. He asked me if I'd be interested in taking an account manager position in either Oklahoma or Colorado. Now, I wasn't afraid to take on this challenge. It wasn't about extending my comfort zone, but I knew that I was happy for the first time and successful in what I was doing as a professional. So I decided to pass on this because I also knew that there was an account manager position where I was, so I kind of had the inside track anyway. But don't worry, I didn't make a mistake. I started selling as an account manager in January of 2006. It took me 11 months to achieve sales contest figures, which in account management is actually very good. Over the course of the next 3 years, I broke 23 new accounts. I hit 2 sales contests and was voted the most valuable person in my office in 2007. But none of that really answers the question of how I got in front of you here today. In April of 2008, I spoke to my new regional vice president. The other one was still a little bit mad at me because I didn't move the last time. And in the course of talking shop philosophies, it became apparent that my thoughts on the company and the direction of it were really in line with where the company was starting to go. He asked me if I'd be interested in moving to Houston, which has been traditionally one of our worst markets. I felt like this was the time to seize the challenge. I can't let these opportunities continue to go by, and just because you're comfortable doing what you want to do, you can't pass on things. So I put myself out there. I gave up all my accounts and I moved down to Houston. Houston's been an unbelievable experience for me. It's over the course of 2008, we laid off half of our team. We hired in a whole new batch of kids right out of college. And what we really focused on was teaching them the right way to do business. And at the end of the day, that's what was missing in this market is teaching people the right way to go about business. I can't tell you the rest of this story right now because that chapter is still being written. So why am I here? As a person, professional, I've grown more than you can believe over the past couple of years. It's been a journey of disappointing lows and tremendous highs. And as I've looked over my career, I've realized that the only way that I can grow as a person, as a professional, is to continue to take on new risks and challenges and extend that comfort zone. Fellow Toastmasters, that's why I'm here today. The next step in my career is to be a director of my own office. It's time to take on the next challenge. I've been scared of public speaking for too many years. Here's where you come you to help me grow as a person. But here's what I'll do in return. I'll be here for you to do the same thing. I asked the question at the beginning, when did I grow up? And the answer is, I still haven't. I still have a long way to grow. And as long as I have the courage and the passion to keep growing, then I'll continue moving